This morning, I put in zeros for all the work that didn't get done last week, except for IXL. All right, so make sure to get that work done. It's still unlocked, it's still open, you can still do all of it. You just need to make sure that it gets done, and the sooner the better. All right, the biggest problem was the stuff for e-learning. The 3 days you aren't here, you have to log in and you have to do that work. Okay, so if you have any questions while you're doing that work, just let me know. I'm usually pretty fast about emails getting back to you. So any questions you have, like I'm not sure what to do, the link's not working, whatever the case may be. All right, so get those done as soon as possible. You will have some time tomorrow with your e-learning time. I didn't load you up with work tomorrow specifically because there were so many missing assignments. I'm not going to do that again. All right, you guys can see how it works. You know how the flow of the class is going to work now. So make sure to keep up with that as we go. For those of you that have everything done, awesome. Keep up the good work. The other thing is for assignments that are done, remember you have to look beyond just the grade. So look at the comments and look at the rubric score. All right, that rubric score is really the most important part. The whatever out of 20 will help you a little bit, but it's that rubric score that is the most important. So remember 3 or 4, awesome. 2, you need a little bit of work, and I told you what to think about to get to that 3 or 4, some things you can improve. And then 1, missed the boat a little bit, and so I made sure to tell you a little bit more on what we can do. But for every assignment that there's a rubric, you have to check out that rubric. You have to check out the comments to make sure that we improve so we can master those standards. Everybody good with that? All right, the 2 standards we're going to work with today are W4, which is the writing process. We're going to do a couple things with the writing process, and then the development of the main idea. The first thing we're going to work with is my item pre-writing. You should have taken a picture this weekend for the item you want to write about. If you forgot, you can still take that and submit it. You just have to write down what you are going to talk about. Today we're going to do the pre-writing portion, and on Wednesday we're going to write the actual narrative essay, so make sure you're ready for that. All right, so everybody have a writing utensil? Okay. On the worksheet where it says item, just name whatever the item is. All right, even if you forgot to take a picture of it, what is it that you want to write about? Remember the 3 things we're going to talk about. Number 1, you're going to describe it. Number 2, you're going to talk about the story behind how you got it. And number 3, you're going to explain why it's important to you. All right, so those are the 3 things. The other key thing about the picture is it is going to be part of the final grade for the overall paper. It helps us tick off one of these boxes for the writing process, actually. So we need to make sure to submit that picture so we have it. Okay? When you look at this graphic organizer, for any graphic organizer, you never need complete sentences. So remember that. You can just kind of use the shorthand that works for you. For that first box where it says description of item, it has the 5 senses listed there, obviously. If one of the senses doesn't make sense for your item, that's fine. So for example, like let's say you picked like a soccer ball as your important item, you're probably not going to talk about how it tastes unless you're going to talk about how you got smacked in the face with it one time. That makes sense? So those you can kind of skip as needed. Why is it important? I put 4 things. If you need more than 4, you can add more than 4. If you need less than 4, you can use less than 4. You just need to make sure everything is filled out. Any questions about this right now? All right, I'm going to give you 15 minutes to work on it. If you get it done in 15 minutes, awesome. You're going to submit it under my item pre-writing. If you don't get it done in 15 minutes, there'll be some time to finish it towards the end of the class too. All right. Everybody good? Questions, comments, concerns? All right, ready, set, go. So first, we're going to take, or I should say, I'm going to start taking attendance a little bit differently for e-learning days. You guys know I have to take attendance for e-learning days. So those 3 days you aren't here, I still have to mark it in Power School. Every e-learning day, you're going to have a quote-unquote quiz in Canvas that looks like this. E-learning attendance. And so for you guys tomorrow, it's going to say 825 Group A. All right? What you're going to do is anytime between midnight tonight, when this is going to post, and 11:59 tomorrow night, you need to go onto this quiz, and it's going to look like this. Like I said, it's going to be super hard, very difficult to do. I don't know why it's not working. There it is. It says, hey, are you doing work today? You're going to click yes, and you're going to hit submit. And that's how I know that you were present for class. All right. Then you're going to go back through, look in Canvas, and do the actual assignment for assignments for the day. Does that make sense? But each e-learning day, do this first so I can mark you as present for e-learning. All right. And you'll have that 24-hour period to do it, and we'll be good to go. All right. But last week, searching through to see who did what and everything hurt my brain cells. And so this is hopefully going to be much, much easier for everybody involved. And then you can get marked present and I can get my stuff done. All right, go ahead and find. There's two similar assignments that they go together. So make sure you find the right one. It's going to be RN2.2 Fortnite. All right. So 2.2 Fortnite. And then once you find the assignment, there's going to be a link. Click on the link that's there. And it's going to ask you to create an account. It's my first time here. And sign in with Google. My first time here, sign in with Google.
You're supposed to write answer the questions on here.
So what you're going to do for this assignment is there's the article there. If you might have seen this in the news, I'm not personally a video game person. I still saw it in the news, but Fortnite, Google, and Apple are kind of having a fight about how they're paid. So it's like a bunch of billionaires fighting about getting more money, but that's a story for another time. What you're going to do is read the article. All right. As you're reading it, fill out these things. All right. So first, the title. That's very simple. It's right there. It's right out. And then the source. Can somebody tell me where they found or where this article's from? Washington Post. All right. It's not from Newsy LA. It's from the Washington Post. All right. A lot of times people will put like Google as the source. That's not the source. It always comes from something. Okay. So as you're reading through, what's the main idea? What's the central idea that obviously goes along with the standard we're looking at today? And then what's something that supports you knowing that's the central idea, the main point? And then pick two things to prove that it's the central idea. And then it's going to ask you to sketch. I'm not an art teacher. I'm not going to grade on how well you draw. I'm sure you can tell by my handwriting. I'm not the best artist in the world. So just do the best you can on that one. Don't overthink it. Okay. And then select a portion that you find interesting. And then reading the article details something a person could do as the next step, and then 2 vocab word or 2 words that you don't understand that you can infer the meaning from. All right. So this is going to be another pre-writing activity. So you're going to read the article. There's a short quiz at the end. You're going to fill this out. Once you have filled this out, take a picture and submit it here. I'm going to give you 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get started on this, to read and fill this out. If you get done early, you can either finish the pre-writing from before for the My Item, or work on a missing assignment, or work on IXL. And then I'll explain what to next in 25 minutes. Everybody good for now? All right, perfect. Just keep working on the graphic organizer. All right, get this done. When you're finished, though, I want you to find the assignment RN2.2 Fortnite paragraph. All right. So like I said, this was kind of like a pre-writing. So we're going to take this information and turn it into a paragraph. All right. And specifically, the questions asking you what the central idea is, evidence to back it up, and then what this tells us, like what's the author trying to get across from it, basically. So if you focus on these 3 questions, and I'll leave these on the board to answer your paragraph. Okay, so 1, what is the central idea? So if you look back at that first or maybe second box, you have your central idea. What is the supporting evidence? How do you know this is the central idea? If you can use quotes, that's best. If you just need to kind of summarize from the article, that works too. It asked for 2 in the graphic organizer, so I would use both of those. Make sure when you put those examples in, you explain how they show the central idea. You can't just put the thing in there, you have to explain. And then finally, how does this prove the author's argument? All right, so if you answer all of those, you're going to have a nice paragraph and you're going to be good to go. All right. The one thing I want you to kind of focus on is don't use personal pronouns. So when you're writing something like this and you're like, what is the central idea? Don't say, I think the central idea is blah, blah, blah. All right. Take out the I think. The central idea is, and go from there. Don't say, in my opinion. Just write the central idea is, and you'll be good to go. All right. Anytime you're tempted to write I think or in my opinion, you can just cross it off and the rest of it will be a complete sentence anyways. That makes sense? Are we good? Okay. So one more time, finish this, submit it, and then work on the paragraph writing. This is going to take us to the end of class, but if you get done with this part, I would double check your missing work, get those things done, get the Mango Street stuff caught up, theme practice, house first home, whatever the case may be, and then circle back and work on IXL. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, I'll be around. All right, just a few minutes before the start of activity period or pride period or whatever, where you hang out in here. So I just want to go over a few things. 1, tomorrow, don't forget to do the attendance portion. And then there's a new section for Mango Street. Once you finish the new section for Mango Street, any assignment that you're missing, work on that. If there's an assignment that you did that you didn't like your score, you can redo that as well. All right, if it says it's locked or you can't, just shoot me an email and I'll give you another attempt. All right, and that's for any assignment throughout this 9 weeks. Make sure to continue working on all the stuff, get caught up. As long as you don't fall behind, it'll be pretty easy, but make sure that this week for the e-learning we stay caught up. Questions, comments, concerns at the end? All right, so especially if you are missing a lot of assignments when we get to the pride period, I would work on at least one of those, see if you can get one done. Right now, one assignment makes a big difference in your grade. So the more you can get done, the better off you'll be. All right. If you need me, just let me know.